Hi, and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Nick. Thanks for joining us again, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, and whatever you're doing right now, maybe washing dishes, walking to work, or just lying on the sofa with your eyes closed.
Today, we're talking about something that a lot of English learners ask. How can I improve my English when I don't have hours to study every day? Because let's be honest, most people don't.
Right. You've got jobs, families, responsibilities, and sometimes just no mental energy left. But that doesn't mean you can't grow. Today's episode is all about how to live with English, even if you're busy, tired, or just overwhelmed.
Exactly. We're not talking about forcing yourself to memorize grammar rules at midnight, or spending your entire weekend watching English lectures. We're talking about gentle, real ways to keep English close to you, so it becomes part of your life, not just your to-do list.
Because fluency isn't always built in classrooms or apps. Sometimes it's built while you're brushing your teeth, or choosing a snack, or listening to someone talk while you're doing something else.
So in this episode, we'll explore little habits that don't take much time or effort, but still move you forward. And the best part? You don't have to change your life. You just have to invite English into the life you already have.
One of the simplest ways to bring English into your daily life is through your phone. You already use it every day, probably more than you realize. So, why not switch your phone's language to English?
That's a great one. It might feel strange at first, but you'd be surprised how quickly you learn everyday words like settings, update, notifications, or even storage. These are words you'll never forget once you use them daily.
And it's the same with social media. Instead of following accounts in your native language, follow one or two that post in English, especially on topics you already enjoy. Like food, fashion, fitness, or psychology. That way, you're not forcing yourself to learn. You're just doing what you always do, but in English.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest mindset shifts. You don't have to be in study mode to be in learning mode. You can be learning passively, just by being exposed to the language in natural ways.
Another idea? Internal monologue. Try thinking in English while doing simple tasks, like, I'm boiling water, I need to buy more rice, or I'm really tired today. It doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is to gently train your brain to use English as a tool, not a test.
Yes, and that's something we forget. Language is not just for exams, it's for life. If you're constantly measuring yourself by how many words you memorized or grammar points you understood, you miss the point. Language is about connection and clarity, not perfection.
Speaking of connection, another tip is to describe your day out loud. You don't even need a partner. Just talk to yourself while walking, cooking, or folding clothes. For example, today was stressful, I met a friend for lunch, or tomorrow I need to clean the kitchen.
You can even talk to your pet, or a plant. Anything that makes you feel more relaxed and less self-conscious. The more you do it, the more confident you become, and you stop thinking of English as something special, or separate. It just becomes a part of you.
And it's okay if you make mistakes while doing it. In fact, that's how learning happens. You forget a word, you guess, you pause, but you try. And that quiet, consistent effort is what leads to real growth over time.
Absolutely. You don't have to study all day. You just have to stay open to English throughout your day. Treat it like a friend who walks with you, not a boss who watches you.
That's such a good image. Because when you welcome English in gently, without pressure, it becomes something comforting, not something stressful. It's not about having the perfect English life, it's about living your life, with English beside you.
Another thing you can try is labeling items around your home in English. It might feel a little silly at first, but it's actually a very effective way to build your vocabulary. You can write mirror, light switch, drawer, window, or pillow on small sticky notes and place them in the right spots.
It sounds simple, and it is, but your brain starts linking the English word directly to the object, without needing translation. That's powerful. And over time, even if you remove the labels, the words stick with you. You've connected them to real things in your environment.
Yes, and you can also create small habits around media. For example, set a rule like, I'll only watch cooking videos in English, or I'll listen to one podcast episode in English while I fold laundry. These are routines you already have, you're just slightly shifting the language.
Even music helps. You don't have to understand every lyric. Just listening, picking out words or phrases, humming along, that's all valuable. You're training your ear to hear rhythm, pronunciation, and natural patterns. And if you pair that with shadowing, listening to a sentence from a video or podcast and repeating it immediately after, you'll start to sound more natural. It's like practicing music. You hear the rhythm, the melody, the emotion, and you try to mirror it.
One thing I love to recommend is reading aloud, just a few sentences a day. It could be a news headline, a product label, or a page from a book. Reading aloud builds confidence, helps your speaking muscles, and even makes you more aware of where your weak spots are. Another gentle strategy is to choose one time of day to switch into English mode. Maybe in the morning, you use English while brushing your teeth and making your coffee. Or in the evening, when you're winding down, you watch something in English or journal a few thoughts.
That's a really kind way to do it. Instead of pushing yourself all day, you just say, this little moment belongs to English. It makes your learning feel more personal, more manageable.
And we should also say, you don't need to do all of these things. Even one or two is enough. You're not a machine. You're a human being with a life, a brain that gets tired, and a heart that needs kindness.
Yes. The goal isn't to add more pressure. The goal is to let English weave itself into your everyday rhythm. Some days it will be more present, other days less, and that's completely okay.
Progress isn't always loud or fast. Sometimes it's quiet, gentle, and slow. But it's still real.
Let's talk about cooking, because that's a perfect opportunity to bring English into something you already do. If you're looking up recipes, try searching for them in English. Even if it's a dish from your own culture, see how it's described on English websites or videos.
Yes. And when you're cooking, you can say the steps out loud in English. Things like, now I'm chopping onions, or I'll boil the rice for 10 minutes. You don't need to say full, fancy sentences, just be with the language while you're doing real things.
It's a double benefit. You're using English and building practical fluency. That's what we mean by everyday learning. It fits into your life instead of taking over your life.
And if you're someone who enjoys journaling or planning, try doing a part of that in English. Write your to-do list in English. Or describe how your day went, even in just 3 short lines. Woke up late. Worked all day. Tired, but proud. That's already language practice.
I love that example. It's simple, honest, and sustainable. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're just meeting English where you are.
Sometimes people think they need to sit down for an hour with a textbook to really learn. But the truth is, 5 minutes of meaningful English in your real life is often more powerful than an hour of passive studying.
Exactly. Language is a living thing. It grows best when it's part of your life, not locked away in a classroom or a checklist.
Even if your English moment is just while brushing your teeth and saying, today I feel tired, or tomorrow I want coffee, you're practicing.
And with consistency, those tiny moments add up. That's what builds fluency, not magic, not pressure, not perfection. Just steady, patient presence.
Let's also not forget the power of listening while doing something repetitive. Washing dishes, doing laundry, walking to work. Those are perfect moments to play an English podcast, even if you're only half focused.
Yes, and I always remind learners, it's okay if you don't understand every word. That's not the point. The point is to get your ears used to how English flows, to let it become a familiar background in your mind.
It's kind of like listening to music in another language. At first, it's just sound. But over time, patterns appear. You start catching certain phrases or expressions. You even start predicting what might come next.
That's how babies learn, isn't it? They don't take notes. They just live with the language. They hear it over and over again in everyday situations. And that exposure makes it feel natural.
Exactly. So if you're folding clothes or walking your dog, don't feel like you're wasting time. That can be your study time, without pressure, without books, without guilt.
And here's something else: use English when talking to yourself. It might feel odd at first, but it's such a great way to practice forming sentences and thoughts naturally.
Yes. Like, when you're deciding what to wear, say it out loud in English, maybe the blue shirt today. Oh, it's too cold, I'll need a jacket. You're not performing for anyone. It's just you and your thoughts in English.
It's private, low-stress practice. And it helps you build confidence before you speak with others. You're training your brain to think in English, even for simple things.
And let's be real. Some days you might do all of this, and some days you might do none. That's okay. That's life. What matters is not forcing it, but inviting it, letting English be part of your world in a way that feels gentle and human.
So if there's one thing we hope you take away from today, it's this: you don't need to study all day to make progress in English. You can weave it into your life, gently, calmly, and in your own time.
Your English journey doesn't have to be fast or perfect to be meaningful. Every small moment counts. Every time you choose to listen, speak, read, or even think in English, you're moving forward.
And we want you to know, we see that effort. It matters. It adds up. Keep going at your own pace. You're doing more than you think.
Thanks for spending this time with us on the British Accent Podcast. We're so proud of the path you're walking, even when it's quiet. Keep learning. Keep living. And remember, you're not alone.
Until next time, take care of your English and yourself.